Invented a lot of things. I invented probably hydrofoils and, like I said, basically I invented wings and basically aircraft and probably hydrofoils, trying to get the ships out of the water and stuff like that. And basically, like I said, a lot of people would, and maybe even the surface drive. There are a lot of people that claim to invent things. That claim to invent stuff like the surface drives, the surface propeller drives and all that other stuff. It was actually probably me. Actually, I probably invented the, the, the surface drives and other stuff for the hydrofoils and stuff like that. A lot of people would be like, I actually wanted a propeller that was more like, instead of like a normal propeller like this, but a high speed propeller, basically. Anyway, it didn't work very well, by the way. Unless it actually didn't work very well. But it was actually a bad idea. I was trying to do like a propeller, just a flat piece of thing that would turn like a screw through the water and stuff like that. Like I said, I invented that stuff. It was my stuff, and and then it was built. A lot of people pretended to. A lot of people said, "Oh yeah, I drew it on a napkin. Yeah, we drew it on a napkin. I was at lunch and I drew it on a napkin." It's like, oh, you mean you took the tour and then you drew it on the napkin? Or you saw it sitting out there in the water and then you drew it on a napkin. Yeah, I drew it on a napkin. Yeah, I drew it on a napkin. Right there at the diner. And designed the whole thing on a napkin. Like, okay, retard. Like, nothing was drawn on a napkin. I can tell you that for sure. We had blueprints for everything. We had designs. I had architects drawing everything, straight lines, architects. I had 5,000 architects working for me. And a bunch of these idiots get on TV and go, I drew it on a napkin. Yeah, we were drawing it on a napkin. Yeah, it was at lunchtime. And yeah, I just drew it on a napkin. And yeah, I said, yeah, that's about what it looks like. Yeah, that should look right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like, you're such a fucking idiot. Who paid you? This Hell's Angels? And don't tell me that you drew something on a fucking napkin. Did you draw did you draw a nuclear reactor on a napkin too, you fuckhead? Like I said, I got pissed off. I get pissed off at people because they're like, yeah, 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 it just came to me. I just drew it on a napkin. It's like, you actually saw it working and then you drew it, basically. There's a bunch of idiots out there pretending yeah, 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 yeah. It's like, yeah, you saw it in a warehouse and then you drew it on a napkin or you took it apart and then figured out how to build it. It's probably left over from the Germans or someone else like that. I had 5,000 draftsmen working for me. And these idiots get on TV and start saying, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I drew the SR-71 on a napkin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it looked like about like that. Yeah, it was on a napkin. We were at lunchtime and I just drew it. It's like, yeah, you paid $5 and then you went to go see it and then you drew on a napkin at lunchtime after you saw it. And then you ran out to the public saying, yeah, yeah, I built the SR-71. Like, no, you did not. Nothing was drawn on a napkin. Like, how stupid do you have to make yourself look anyway? Because I had 5,000 engineers and designers and people working for me. Nothing was drawn on a napkin. Everything was drawn on drafting tables and was done with metallurgy and basically, what's it called? I know a lot of people were trying to lie about it. A lot of other people. Yeah, I drew the steam engine on a napkin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We were at lunchtime and we were just sitting there talking and I was just doodling. And you were doodling yourself, like touching yourself, doodling, that kind of doodling, or what? That's really what doodling means, really. To doodle yourself means to touch yourself. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, it was... Okay, retard. Did you draw the Lamborghini on a napkin too? Yeah, yeah, we were just sitting there. Yeah, I was just drawing the Lamborghini window. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like all like what's it called? Like a TV talk show or something. Like engineers designed that shit. Like the Hell's Angels. Did you draw your engine on a napkin? Hell's Angels, did you draw your engine on a napkin? Do you like those monkey bars? With your beards? A bunch of people got access to my weapons. Now they're 80. They went and fought the Chinese and the Japanese. It wasn't for freedom or peace. They wanted a motorcycle or a car, or wanted to steal the gold off the walls, out of the museums. Okay, Hell's Angels, your time's up. Where are you? Hey, whatever. I don't really care. Talk to the Mexicans about it. Talk to the Chinese about it. I tried to tell Rodney and a bunch of other people that too. I tried to say, it is not just America. This is not just America. There are Chinese here, there are Japanese here, there are Germans, there are Irishmen, there are Scotsmen, there are 400 to 800 different groups that basically call me leader, that abide by my laws and basically promote themselves throughout the civilization. They have children, they have kids, they have everything else, and they live within my country. It is a very nice and great country. And very amazing. Through honor and respect and the fact that my ships had always shown up, and because I had always thought of people, because my steam engines and my steam trains and my factories had basically protected them through hurricanes. My people lived. Like I said, people would go to the mine shafts. They would go to the big buildings, basically in a hurricane. And my buildings with the 3-foot walls would actually withstand the storms. My buildings could usually take a hurricane like it was nothing, like shrug it off. My people ran to my buildings and ran to my steam trains because they were heavy and they were strong, and my buildings were survivable. You could live through a hurricane. You could practically take a tidal wave in one of my buildings. They were tall, they were strong, they were well built. So my people lived. Nothing was drawn on a napkin. Everything was manufactured, and a lot of work and a lot of effort was put into everything. And then these idiots get on TV and start saying this and saying that because it's freedom of speech. They could say whatever they wanted. They could post fake news, they could say fake stories, they could rob an aircraft and jump out the back. And whatever, like I say, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. And I'm just making myself look like an idiot anyway, in there after them. Anyway, they got away with stuff. They did whatever, but my military groups and my factories and my tanks, they found it. It's a bit hard to get them to pry them out, wasn't it? Like I said, Hell's Angels found out the hard way that, yeah, I had tanks. Oh, you didn't know I had tanks? And aircraft? And battleships? Yeah, a bunch of Hell's Angels and a bunch of other people found out that, yes, my militaries do have armament and guns. You're not the only one with bulletproof vests and guns out here, So, anyway, like I said, the Irishmen, there's lots of groups out there. So anyway, like I say, whatever, a bunch of people, it basically was chaos, though. And they found themselves in a war against the Irishmen and everybody else. Like I said, I don't really care. Like, I had people that worked for me, worked for White Star Lines. I invented the laws. I invented the rules. I invented the court systems, and I invented the name of the country, America. My laws and my rules were posted on the door, taught to every child as soon as they were born, that these are the laws of this country, and you can leave if you wish. Most people chose to stay. Anyway, though, a bunch of Hell's Angels, and a bunch of other people were like, oh, fuck that, we can do whatever we want. Well, alright, whatever. Anyway, how'd that work out for you? Anyway, doing whatever you want in a sea of 7 billion people, or in a galaxy of however many trillion, you'll find is a bit harder. Hey, whatever. Like I say, I don't really care. I just made the laws and posted them on the door, and basically, Germany and my people built the battleships and everything else, and I invented the aircraft. A bunch of people wanted to just try and do whatever and basically deny me and kill me as soon as I was older. So, whatever. Since you plan to kill me anyway, it doesn't really matter. Since you plan to lock me up or lobotomize me anyway, I don't really care. But you might as well know the truth before I die. Who Lucifer Star really was. Really is.